What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about PayPal. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really been moving PayPal and why a lot of the data points are signaling higher highs to come. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, PayPal is up 0.65%. So piggybacking off of the broader market's momentum, because there hasn't been all that much in news associated to PayPal ever since, for the most part, their earnings that came out on the 30th. But beside the point, you do see a lot of big transactions. So big money is getting into PayPal today. So these are all the transactions above $100,000 occurring on the secondary market. A couple big ones, 1.47 million, 1.15, 2.9, even first thing 22.6 million. So big money, like I said, is kind of rushing into PayPal. There's been a lot of good data coming out. So CPI generally coming in flat is very optimistic and bullish. You also did have initial jobless claims, retail sales that came out yesterday, both very strong. And so a lot of analysts are starting to warm up to the idea that higher highs might be coming. And as of right now, with that strong data that's been coming out, that's kind of diminishing the likelihood of a 50 basis point cut for the September 18th meeting, rather focusing on a 25. But for the November 7th meeting, it is also anticipated a second 25 basis point cut. And if that kind of scenario does happen, what I mentioned roughly like a month and a half ago about a big market rotation back into equities from money markets, that would be most likely coming to fruition and really help a lot of growth stocks such as PayPal. So not only is the data points right now looking fairly optimistic for PayPal, but it could get a hell of a lot better. So I want to go over everything, starting off though with data points such as shorts. I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. As I've stated in the past, I don't see PayPal being a squeeze play. I'm just bringing this up for analysis purposes, but shorts did and so far are returning around 41,000 shares. 2.09% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 21.28 million shares overall are being shorted. So when it comes down to shorts returning, it does kind of validate today's green day. And like I said, just basically on the metrics looking at this, it's not a squeeze play. So don't get any hopes or whatever based on that. So yeah, something to kind of consider. As of right now, the Elliott Wave technicals are looking fairly optimistic. So it does have a pivot point of $60.10. So for as long as PayPal is above that, then it is anticipated to hit between that $72, $60, and $75 range. And for those of you that have been following my PayPal videos, the technicals have been on point. So once again, this is one of the many attributes I'm going to be talking on that is signaling higher highs to come. And there was a couple of new analyst ratings that came out yesterday. One was done by Morgan Stanley, James, who has a 64% success rating and $71 price target. So generally fairly good stuff for that. And a lot of this as well as just encumbering their recent earnings. So you have kind of opposite spectrums, all very much optimistic if you ask me. So $85 done by Barclays, that seems to be kind of the high. You had 95 by Monet. 40% success rating by the analyst, so not necessarily the best. So that is very bullish though. On the flip side, you have a low of $60, and that is done by DBS. Iris, who has a 100% success rating, so that will be kind of short-lived because they're so far 2 for 2, but still bigger picture, that's not going to be sustainable whatsoever. But still, as a consensus, $75.50 is kind of the price target, and that does represent a 11% upside. So kind of matching with the Elliott Wave technicals. The only thing is, analysts are giving these price predictions for 1 year out. So I think PayPal is going to be moving up a little bit faster than what even analysts are forecasting. So something, again, just to kind of consider. You do have the fair market value based on the Morningstar report, which I do believe came out last week, and it does show the fair market value being $104. So kind of crazy stuff when it comes down to that. So a lot of that is very optimistic. Looking at the data right now, 11 million in calls, 211 million, thousand in puts, 66% of all the options being done so far today within the first about 45 minutes is bearish, so not necessarily the best. But if you do look at the open interest for the calls, you do see a consensus for it to be between kind of that $69 to $70 range by the end of this week, and more so it looks like around kind of similar nature to next week. So kind of matching with everything that $70 plus might be coming, and that obviously would be a new high or 52-week high for PayPal. So again, that is something to kind of consider. As long as institutions keep buying PayPal up, it is going to have a lot of these good support levels. As of right now, with it at 68.24, 67.07 will be the next strong support. 69.44 is going to be that next strong resistance slash target. So right now it's kind of just stuck in limbo between these 2 points, but given all the data that's been coming out, a lot of analysts are starting to warm up to the idea that we are not going to be kind of going down and that essentially the market is going to continue to expand. This is where you'll see a lot more positive ratings, and possibly that might be that kind of catalyst to really push PayPal higher. So once again, that's just my viewpoint on that. On the actual chart itself, higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, stochastic, you do see it at 90, so that is considered rather overbought. So the first sign of weakness, you will see a significant pullback. Then again, that's kind of healthy, bigger picture, similar to what happened right here. Even though this sell-off was rather scary, it kind of reset a lot of the technicals, so that is kind of helping to build it up for higher highs, like I kind of mentioned. And a number of retail investors have been getting into PayPal. So like I said, based on just the macro events that's been happening on a larger scale and just the micro events that's been happening to PayPal, especially what was said from their recent earnings, I do feel that higher highs will be coming. So let me know your thoughts on PayPal. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with PayPal? And like I said, based on this, it does show that a lot of retail and just number of buyers have been increasing. So it is fair to assume that a lot of people have been buying PayPal up. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. It has been extended up until the end of August. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.